Hi again. Little discussion about Bungeebones and Bitcoin. For those of you who aren't familiar with Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a new type of digital currency. It was developed, I guess, from the ground up for internet transactions, and just for a comparison to what we're all used to, credit cards have been around since the 50s, and they have not been designed for use on the internet. And there's a lot involved with Bitcoin. We aren't going to be able to cover it all here, and there's already too much. There's already a lot of information out on the web. No sense reinventing the wheel for you. I'll show you some websites that have some excellent points about Bitcoin, and you can research it yourself. But what got me interested in Bitcoin was the fact that it was a new currency, electronic, and designed for the internet. So credit cards themselves have a lot of different problems, and we'll be talking about those later on. Bitcoin has a bunch of benefits, but throughout the development of Bungeebones, there's this issue of something called micropayments. And one of the key points that I identified early on in Bungeebones about advertising is that all advertising isn't created equal. It doesn't have equal demand, and it doesn't have equal supply of advertisers. And in the case of a web directory, there is multi-categories and subcategories that people can choose. And maybe a brief history of the way I understand search engines developed in comparison to web directories might be enlightening. The way I understand the development of Google is tied in with Yahoo, and Yahoo was the premier website not that long ago, and it's a web directory, and they hired various search engines to provide a way for their visitors to answer that question, where to next. But they were sent to search engines after the web directory search had let them down or failed, or they wanted more, they weren't satisfied. So Yahoo presented a search engine to answer that question, where to next. Now, one of those companies that was hired by Yahoo was fledgling Google, and they were under contract to Yahoo. Yahoo was king, Google was an infant, and that was that way for a while. And then something came along called pay per click. And in the previous video, I discussed a little bit about what pay per click was. And one of the things that make pay per click work is the ability of a company to determine what's on your web page, to know what people are looking at, in order to know what ads to put next to the content. And I experimented with one of the lesser known search engines, and I had my website, and I went there, and all of a sudden something way off base, totally unrelated, almost the opposite of anything that I wanted on my website, was there in the ads. Well, it took me all of about 5 minutes to remove that section of code from my website, never to have their links on my website again. So I mentioned that nobody's ever paying for Google search, and why would they spend all that time and energy developing something that nobody ever pays for? Well, there's the answer. So that they can put a um, an ad that is related to what you have on your website. Okay, now let me step back again to Yahoo, Google. Pay-per-click came along. Google had a good search engine. They were making great progress in it, and they found out that they could use and start monetizing their search engine through pay-per-click. And they birthed two programs, AdWords and AdSense. AdSense places their code to deliver links onto a website, and AdWords is what webmasters sign up for and agree to pay. And so thus Google was birthed. At that time, Yahoo was still king. Okay, now one fundamental difference that I think was crucial for Yahoo's downfall and Google's ability to leap to the lead was the fact that Yahoo charged a flat fee, $300 a year at that point. It didn't matter whether you were a lawn mowing service with one lawnmower and a pickup truck, or a Boy Scout troop, or a Little League club, or anything like that. Flat $300 a month. And you remember I just mentioned I discovered and see that not all categories are created equal. A hairdresser is not going to pay as much to advertise on the internet as a lawyer would, or as an insurance company would. All categories are not created equal. Okay, so flexible pricing is one of the things, it's not the only thing, but one of the things that let Google climb it rapidly in market share. And that's one of the things that Bungeebones has going for it. Well, with flexible pricing, that also includes the problem of something called micropayments, payments of small amount of earnings. So when I started getting involved with Bitcoin back, it's August 2013 right now. I got involved in around September 2012 and started looking at it. I realized the transaction cost, because it's all digital, the transaction cost to transfer money anywhere in the world for practically no cost and no requirement by a third party to qualify somebody, fit perfect with Bungeebones. And if you remember right, if I said that if you have a website and you're actively advertising your website, the net, and you qualify for the Bungeebones multi-level opportunity, well, the same should be true for a money transfer system. And there are certain places in the world where our credit card companies can't go. They can't afford to because of risk of fraud, a number of factors. Well, Bitcoin can go anywhere. Anywhere the internet can go, Bitcoin can go. So a worldwide reach, suitability for micropayments are all some of the factors that got me looking seriously at Bitcoin. And I only transformed the Bungeebones website over to Bitcoin. Just finished it a couple weeks ago. So the Bitcoin experience is all new. I'm going to talk about different ways you can find out more information about Bitcoin. I recommend for the basics, codes, the algorithms, the science behind the code, that you visit Khan Academy and just type in, you can do it on YouTube also. Khan Academy has excellent stuff on Bitcoin. Now you can go to the bitcoin.org site and see their information. They have a number of things. And you start off, and just give you a point, you start off with a wallet. They call it a wallet. Okay. Now, the person that started this company is the one that introduced me to Bitcoin here in Orlando. He had a meetup. Tony Galipi is one of the co-founders of BitPay. BitPay is the master charge of Bitcoin. If you, as a business, want to start accepting Bitcoin, BitPay will convert that back to whatever currency you want and put it in your bank that same day. Okay, it is the equivalent of master charge for Bitcoin, and it's totally seamless. So, okay, then at the other end we have Mt. Gox, which is one of a number of trading sites that you can trade Bitcoin, kind of like a Forex type trading. You can trade in multiple currencies. And here, daily volume, that's in Bitcoin. So with each one of these worth $107, you can see that it's about $1.5 million a day being transacted in Bitcoin currently. Okay, so on our website, I've got the information about why Bungeebones transitioned to Bitcoin, and some links to these sites that I was just talking about, and you can take a look at those. I'll have another one another video describing our commission program, which is entirely in Bitcoin. So Bungeebones has become a way to earn and acquire Bitcoin with your web traffic. So I'll see you at the next video.